the physical foundation of the Indian Wells tennis garden was sovereignly shaken. While the global media matrix was still panic-striking over Coco Gauff's heartbreaking retirement, a seismic statement from the world's richest tennis player, Jessica Pegula, has just incinerated the internet. Reports are going off that during a late-night interview with ESPN, Pegula didn't just give a standard reaction, she didn't hold back. In a savage and honest admission that has now dismantled the top 10's arrogance, Jessica Pegula reportedly looked straight into the lens and said, "Alex Eala is a problem, not just for me, but for anyone who steps on court with her." The information explosion suggests that Pegula, who famously survived a 3-set thriller against Alex at the Miami Open, was inhumanely stunned by the Eala effect taking place in the desert. Reports leaked that Jessica was fuming at the critics who tried to muffle Alex's 6-2 dominance over Coco Gauff before the injury occurred. Pegula reportedly told the press, "I've played in stadiums all over the world, but I've never seen anything like the Pinoy Army. They don't just cheer, they sovereignly occupy the atmosphere. You can hear the crowd roaring from the hotel. It's inhumane energy that makes you feel like the away player even in your own country." This nuclear recognition from a world number 5 has panic-struck the WTA establishment, who now realize that Alex Eala is no longer a guest. She is the sovereign reality of professional tennis. Witnesses leak that as Pegula spoke, even billionaire owner Larry Ellison was seen nodding in agreement from the shadows of the press room. The savage truth is that the Eala-Nadal alliance has created a nuclear weapon of a player who wins with inhumane grace and savage power. The information explosion on social media has already reached 400 million impressions, with fans in Manila and California savagely celebrating Pegula's admission. One elite sports analyst was heard whispering, "Pegula isn't just praising a rival, she is sovereignly warning the rest of the tour. She knows that the matrix has been dismantled by a girl who has a nation's heartbeat in her racket." Inside the VIP Players' Lounge, the tension is total. Reports leak that other top 10 stars are panic-striking because they realize that playing Alex Eala means playing against an entire Pinoy empire. The acoustic pressure is so high that it has incinerated the confidence of her next opponents. Jessica Pegula's admission has sovereignly proved that Alex isn't just a rising star, she is a global problem for anyone standing in her way to the trophy. Financial atmosphere of Indian Wells was sovereignly incinerated at exactly 12:15 a.m. on this historic Tuesday morning. While the global media was still panic-striking over Jessica Pegula's admission that Alex Eala is a problem, a nuclear corporate conflict was reportedly exploding behind the scenes. Reports are going off that the Pegula family, the owners of the Buffalo Bills and a massive business empire, realized the inhumane marketing power of the Eala effect. The information explosion suggests that Jessica's representatives reportedly approached Alex's camp with a sovereign $2 million sponsorship vow. They wanted to sovereignly hijack Alex's image and make her the face of their luxury skincare and lifestyle brands. Witnesses leak that the offer included a private jet clause and a sovereign luxury suite in every city on the WTA tour. This nuclear move has panic-struck the other corporate sharks, who realized that the billionaire heiress was trying to muffle the competition by owning the Pinoy queen herself. One elite business consultant was heard whispering, "Jessica isn't just praising Alex, she is trying to buy the future of the sport." But she dismantled her own plan by underestimating the sovereign integrity of a girl who plays for her flag, not for a paycheck. But the savage high point of this part too happened in the acoustic silence of the Players' Lounge. Reports leak that as the news of the $2 million offer spread, the top 10 matrix began to panic-strike. Rival players were seen, fuming, because they realized that Alex Eala is now the sovereign priority of the world's elite. The information explosion suggests that a top 3 seed tried to muffle Alex's rise by complaining to a WTA official that Alex was getting unfair commercial exposure. But the savage reality is that Jessica Pegula herself reportedly incinerated the complaint. Witnesses leak that Jessica told the rival, "She isn't getting exposure, she is the exposure. If you want a private jet, play with the inhumane heart that she has." This nuclear defense from the billionaire heiress has dismantled the locker room jealousy and sovereignly proved that Alex Eala is the absolute reality of professional tennis. Inside the VIP locker wing, the tension reached a nuclear boiling point when Alex Eala finally responded to the $2 million offer. Reports are going off that Alex didn't even look at the nuclear figures on the contract. Instead, she reportedly sent a savage 5-word text back to Jessica Pegula that has now dismantled the internet. Witnesses leak that the text simply said, "My pride has no price." This nuclear integrity has panic-struck the corporate matrix, who thought they could muffle her Pinoy roots with luxury. Even Rafael Nadal, hearing about the rejection, was seen sovereignly nodding with nuclear pride, telling his team, "This is why she is a champion." The sovereignty of the Philippines is now an unstoppable economic force in the desert. Reports leak that Larry Ellison has reportedly panic-struck his own marketing team, ordering them to incinerate the old advertisements and put Alex Eala and the Pinoy Army on the main cover of the tournament's final week program. The information explosion on social media has now surpassed 450 million impressions, with fans in Manila savagely celebrating Alex' sovereign rejection of the billionaire's money. The acoustic intensity inside the Indian Wells Elite Performance Center was sovereignly shattered at exactly 6 p.m. on this historic Tuesday evening. While the global media matrix was still panic-striking over Alex Eala's rejection of the $2 million buyout, a seismic confrontation was reportedly taking place near the heavyweights. Reports are going off that Aryna Sabalenka, the tiger of the WTA and the world's most powerful hitter, found herself face-to-face with Alex Eala, the sovereign dragon. The information explosion suggests that the entire gym went inhumanely silent as these two nuclear forces locked eyes. Witnesses leak that Sabalenka, who had been watching Alex' savage 6-2 dominance over Gauff, didn't just walk past, she stopped and gave Alex a sovereign nod of war. This nuclear moment has dismantled the peace in the locker room, as Sabalenka reportedly whispered a savage 6-word warning that has now incinerated the internet. "I am not Coco, be ready." But the savage truth that the media is trying to muffle is Alex's reaction. Reports leak that Alex didn't flinch. She simply adjusted her Pinoy Pride wristband and gave Sabalenka an inhumane smile that has panic-struck the Tigers' coaching team. One elite strength coach was heard whispering, "I've seen Sabalenka intimidate everyone from Swiatek to Rybakina, but Alex Eala looked at her like she was just another obstacle in the matrix." The dragon has sovereignly disarmed the tiger without saying a single word. This acoustic standoff has now reached 500 million impressions on social media, with fans savagely predicting a nuclear collision in the later rounds. Inside the VIP recovery wing, the billionaire heiress Jessica Pegula was reportedly watching the standoff through the glass. The information explosion suggests that Pegula finally admitted the savage reality of her own fear. In a hidden transcript leaked to the press, Jessica reportedly told her head coach, "It's not just her forehand, it's that nuclear calm. Alex Eala looks like she's already seen the future, and in that future she's holding the trophy. I've never been panic-struck by a teenager before, but she is sovereignly different." This inhumane admission from a top-5 veteran has incinerated the WTA's attempt to muffle the hype. Pegula is reportedly fuming because she realizes that the matrix of the top 10 is no longer a safe haven for the established stars. The sovereignty of the Philippines has now become an absolute psychological weapon. Reports are going off that Rafael Nadal, hearing about the gym standoff, sent Alex a nuclear one-word instruction that has dismantled her final hesitation. The message simply said, "Unleash." This savage command from the King of Clay has panic-struck Alex's next opponent, Linda Noskova, who is reportedly sobbingly frustrated because the entire desert has already sovereignly crowned Alex as the favorite. Even Larry Ellison has reportedly ordered his sovereign security to double the guard around Alex, realizing that she is now the most valuable target of the corporate sharks. One elite analyst was heard whispering, "Sabalenka is the power, Gauff was the speed, but Alex Eala is the matrix breaker. She is sovereignly destined to dismantle the old guard once and for all." The Acoustic Foundation of Indian Wells was sovereignly shattered at exactly midnight on this historic Wednesday. While the global media matrix was still panic-striking over the gym standoff between Sabalenka and Eala, a nuclear secret was reportedly unfolding on practice court 17. Reports are going off that Rafael Nadal authorized a secret training session known only as the Sun and Stars drill. The information explosion suggests that this drill, designed to dismantle the heavy-hitting rhythm of players like Sabalenka, involves Alex hitting inhumane high-altitude lobs followed by savage flat winners. Witnesses leak that Alex was seen hitting for 3 hours straight under the desert moon, her nuclear intensity so high that she incinerated 12 cans of balls. One elite groundsman was heard whispering, "I've watched Rafa practice for 20 years, but the acoustic speed of Alex's racket tonight was inhuman." She isn't just practicing, she is sovereignly programming herself to destroy the top 10. But the savage high point of this Part 4 happened inside the WTA operations office. Reports are going off that a high-ranking official tried to muffle the Pinoy Army by imposing a sovereign noise restriction for Alex's next match. The information explosion suggests that the official claimed the acoustic volume of the Filipino fans was panic-striking the other players. However, they didn't count on the billionaire heiress stepping in. Reports leak that Jessica Pegula, hearing about the attempt to silence the fans, walked into the office and had a savage 15-minute confrontation that has now dismantled the official's authority. Witnesses leak that Pegula told them, "You want to silence the only fans who are actually buying tickets. If you muffle the Pinoy Army, you are incinerating the future of this tournament. They aren't noise, they are the heartbeat of Indian Wells." This nuclear defense from Jessica Pegula has panic-struck the WTA corporate sharks, who realized they couldn't push around a girl who has the world's richest player as her sovereign protector. The information explosion on social media has now reached 550 million impressions, with fans in Manila and Queens savagely celebrating Pegula's loyalty. Even Larry Ellison was reportedly seen sovereignly fuming at his staff for even suggesting a noise ban. Reports are going off that Ellison has now ordered nuclear-sized speakers to be installed around the stadium to amplify the fan experience instead. The psychological impact inside the VIP locker wing has been seismic. Other players are reportedly fuming because they realize that Alex Eala is now sovereignly untouchable. With Nadal, nuclear secret drill complete and Pegula'S savage protection in place, the sovereignty of the Philippines has officially taken over the desert. One elite sports analyst was heard whispering, "The Matrix tried to muffle her, but they only succeeded in incinerating their own rules." Alex Eala isn't just a problem anymore, she is the sovereign solution to everything wrong with modern tennis. The acoustic atmosphere inside the Indian Wells tennis garden reached a nuclear boiling point at exactly 7 p.m. on this historic Thursday. While the global media matrix was still panic-striking over Jessica Pegula's defense of the fans, the savage reality of the Eala era was finally confirmed in a heartbreaking 10-second scene. As Alex Eala prepared to step onto the court for her round of 16 clash, her phone nuclear vibrated with one last notification. Reports are going off that it was a private video message from Coco Gauff, sent directly from her recovery bed. The information explosion suggests that Gauff, with sobbingly brave eyes, gave Alex a savage one-word command that has now incinerated the internet: dominate. This nuclear passing of the torch has dismantled any remaining doubt. Witnesses leak that Alex looked at the screen, took a deep breath of the desert air and whispered back, "For the flag." The psychological impact inside the stadium was total, as Alex walked through the tunnel. The 16,000 fans, led by the Pinoy Army, began a sovereign chant that was so loud it reportedly panic-struck the seismic sensors in the Coachella Valley. This wasn't just noise, it was a national coronation. Reports leak that billionaire owner Larry Ellison, standing alongside Rafael Nadal, looked at the sea of Philippine flags and gave the world his savage final verdict. Ellison reportedly told the global broadcasters, "You kept looking for the next big thing." Well, the Matrix has been dismantled. Alex Eala isn't the future, she is the sovereign present. She is the only problem in tennis that no one has an answer for. This nuclear endorsement from the world's most powerful tennis owner has incinerated the old guard's authority forever. Inside the VIP operations room, the information explosion on social media has now surpassed 600 million impressions, with the hashtag Eala coronation incinerating all other global trends. The savage truth is that the Eala-Nadal-Pegula alliance has created an untouchable power. Even the WTA corporate sharks who tried to muffle her have now been forced to sovereignly bow to her influence. Reports are going off that every major sports brand on earth is now panic-striking to offer Alex the biggest contracts in history. But as we saw in Part 2, her sovereign integrity remains incinerated by her loyalty to her roots. As the first ball was struck, the acoustic energy proved that Jessica Pegula was right. She is a problem. But for the millions of fans in Manila and across the globe, she is the sovereign solution. The Matrix has been dismantled, the dragon has been unleashed, and the Queen has finally been sovereignly crowned in the heart of the desert. The series is over, the era has begun, and the Pinoy power is sovereignly unstoppable.